Well, guess what, guys? We've only got about 24 days to go until Christmas for 2022, and I'm personally very excited for it, especially noticeable that, well, we haven't got that far with it though until whenever we get to that point. So, hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I am the one and only Tiana here once again, and I'm back for yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of WarioWare Touched for the Nintendo DS. So last time that not only do we able to actually complete 9 volt and 18 volt, in this case the best stage of all time with retroaction, and also we did manage to complete the final stage in the story mode department, and that's what appears to be Wario Man from the likes of well, Super Zero, basically. So as a result of that kind of stuff though, yeah, we did somehow conquer those 2 levels, no problem. With all that, 30 scores, and as well as from that though, we somehow managed able to obtain every single microgames with those 2 stages in mind. So speaking of microgames though, today for this video is the fact that we're about to show you guys certain missing microgames I was missing on throughout the majority of the game. So I think, if I recall correctly, I think I was missing about, let me try to think of something here. I think we're missing about 11 of them. So in some cases though, 1 of them is from Wario, 2 of them from Jimmy T, 1 from Mona, and another 1 from Katanana, and strangely enough, 6 of them come from Mike himself. So first off, let's go ahead and show off the forms of the missing microgame from Wario. This one appears to be bug-eyed. So in some cases though, as you can see, much like the forms of how it does it on not only WarioWare Inc. Minigame Mania, but also with the forms of WarioWare Twisted as well, that basically we need to reach a certain amount of points in order able to actually, like, as you can see on screen, that we did one of those microgames on my own time for a bit, because trust me, getting those microgames can take a long time to get through, unlike the forms of how it does it in the previous 2 games that, despite the fact that we have to do multiple playthroughs on those specific stages whenever I did manage to able to did this off screen. So in some cases though, yeah, as you can tell, just like in WarioWare Inc. Minigame Mania for the Game Boy Advance, in order able to get that red flower, as you can tell from certain microgames, is that we need to beat a certain amount of score on the actual microgames themselves. So, pretty standard stuff for the most part. Like certain minigames, or specifically microgames to be more specifically, I keep thinking of Mario Party stuff, so in some cases though, yeah, as a result, speaking of Mario Party though, I can assure you, a lot of people seem to be really enjoyed our Mario Party Superstars Let's Play, usually because of how fun that game can be. Now on top of that though, maybe potentially on this particular month, which is December, because yes, as you can tell, today's day is of course the December the 1st of 2022, so here we are on to, like I said before, the final month of 2022, and let me tell you, it's been quite a crazy ride after we've been through for the past few months or so. But then again though, I'll let Maxi will mention more about it until when he goes on to the final thoughts of 2022 to be more specifically, because I was really looking forward to certain stuff for the likes of in this year to begin with, but now with the fact that this year has almost come close towards the end, I do have some very questionable feelings about this year so far, but then again though, we're not going to mention more about it until that time comes. So anyways, in this microgame right here, all you have to really do is just try to find those specific bugs that somehow managed able to blend in with the actual tree itself. And it's almost like trying to camouflage it almost, but either way though, you simply get out able to poke some of these bugs, and that's pretty much all this is. So, pretty simple and self-explanatory microgame to able to complete it with that stuff though. So in some cases though, yeah, if you let the time run out, then basically you lose a life, so basically, if you ever played the other WarioWare games before, although, unlike in WarioWare Twisted though, that in certain microgames in WarioWare Twisted, that basically though you have to complete several microgames in order to be able to obtain points, whilst in this game it doesn't matter, because you can just simply either make a simple mistake, or in some cases you can able to go for this entire endurance run or something like that, just like in the old days, ever since the first game in the series, so, which I honestly appreciate about that, until, whenever we move on to WarioWare Smooth Moves though, that it'll start to able to change things drastically when it comes to likely experiencing certain microgames on our spare time or something like that, so I guess there's not much else explanation for the sake of time, so yeah, I guess that's that. So now let's move on to 2 microgames that are missing, well, as far as I did manage to find these 2 off screen. In some cases though, let's move on to Jamie T. So in some cases though, is the fact that there's only 2 microgames we are missing on. So first one we have is Orsurtion, which I do apologize for that mispronunciation of that particular the name of that microgame though, but that's only mainly because about the fact that thankfully until the later microgames, as far as I'm aware, that basically though is the fact that we can potentially try to able to make things a little bit more, well, I don't know how do I put it though. So yeah, for certain microgames, when it comes to the scoring system, some of these microgames that it does manage to require you to able to actually reach up for about 10 points, 15 points, or even essentially 20 points, as we're going to be doing some of them right now. And even there are rare occasions where you're able to actually see 25 points required, or in some cases 30, if I recall correctly. Well, mind you about the fact that it has been quite a few hours since I actually last played this, because, again, let me tell you straightly right off the bat though, is the fact that, well, finding these microgames can be kind of a long, drawn-out thing to be able to come across into, but regardless of such though, I think to me it's kind of worth it at the end, so, anywho though, so yeah, basically in this microgame right here is the fact that we need to able to lower down certain hill tops or anything else to be more specific, because otherwise if the helicopter just somehow managed able to hit the actual hill or the mountain rather, then basically though it'll just crash and then you will lose the actual microgame. So yeah, pretty standard stuff though for this particular microgame as far as I've just noticed something like this. So yeah, everything else goes all fine and dandy and everything, so anyway, so a few things we want to explain about this while this is happening is the fact that, well, as I mentioned this before, we've only got about 24 days to go until Christmas this year, so I can't believe time itself just went fly by. And on top of that, though, we actually have ourselves some very interesting topics we'd like to mention. Speaking of Christmas, though, is the fact that recently, Shrek the Halls, you know, with the films that have the most iconic thing from my childhood, especially noticeable that they always tend to show that up in during forms of certain other BBC channels or anything else to be more specific, that I can't believe about the fact that that particular Christmas special for Shrek is actually now 15 years old now. So yeah, it seems kind of intriguing as far as I'm aware for that stuff. So in this case though is the fact that I know for a fact that it takes place after the events of Shrek the Third, in this case, in my opinion, the worst Shrek film I've ever seen. So in some cases, though, there's not much right to say about this as far as I'm aware. So anyway, oh, and on top of all that stuff, though, is the fact that recently I've managed able to pick up quite a number of items in the past few days. Now I suppose that both Pac-Man and Pinkie Pie have both forgot to mention about during the course of being the Mario Party Superstars Let's Play, or even in some cases that Sonic did somehow finally manage able to move on to a next Let's Play, in some cases though, Super Metroid, which he was very looking forward to able to play this game for you guys. And actually I'll get to more in a second, because we somehow completed one of those micro games here. So now let's move on to the next one, which appears to be worked to a lava. I think that's what it says anyway. So basically in this one right here is the fact that we need to scrub his face, and that's all you really have to do. Occasionally it gets a bit difficult though, especially noticeable he starts to move around slightly in level 2. But in level 3, on the other hand though, well, you'll see why until right now. So in some cases though, he decides to squat throughout the majority of this entire level 3 scenario, so yeah, I guess that's something I suppose. So anyway, so in terms of certain items I've got, during the last few weeks ago. That is the fact that recently I got myself my second GameCube controller Wavebird, so I can able to actually use that on my, well, I can essentially use that all the time now, especially I used to have the other one back in 2018, but I'm actually going to keep the other one as in the one of those controller drawers, just in case I don't want to able to ruin the actual controller itself, with all that damage conditions or anything else, be more specific, because still, I think to me though, that the GameCube Wavebird controller is actually the coolest thing ever, alongside with the Game Boy player on the GameCube, and oh in all, the GameCube does have some fantastic accessories in my opinion, so... Oh, and on top of all that stuff though, is the fact that speaking of controllers though, I somehow managed able to get myself another color variation of my Wii Remote. But not just any Wii Remote, but with the forms of the Motion Plus inside built into it. Because I think I did have two of the Wii Remotes, they do have Wii Motion Plus built into it, which there are the red Wii Remote, as well as the Luigi special themed Wii Remote back in 2013. And I thought to myself, yeah, I might as well get another one, but this time I've got myself the black color, which that actually matches up to my Wii system. So, yeah, pretty cool though, don't you think? Especially noticeable, now I actually got myself quite a number of those Wii Remotes, as far as I'm aware. I'm probably not gonna buy that much Wii Remotes though, because I think 4 might be enough, especially noticeable because certain other games do usually requires up to 1 to 4 players for certain multiplayer games, so that's as far as saying goes, that's pretty much as far as I can say about it. So, and by the way, on this micro game, if you manage to let the time run out, then you lose a heart, so yeah, keep that in mind. So, and when it comes to other things I would like to mention is that I've got myself my another amiibo, but this time around though, I got something related to Metroid. So speaking of Metroid, there you go. So in some cases, I've got myself the Samus Aran amiibo based off from Metroid Dread. And the reason being, I've managed able to got that amiibo, as in, not boxed sadly, but I've got the figure itself, which I'll explain more now in a second, because... well, that pretty much does it for every microgames has to offer for Jamie T. So in some cases though, let's move on to Mona next. And there's only one microgame we are missing on, and thankfully we somehow managed to got one, and that is Sweeping Victory. So in some cases though, we need to trip up all the other audiences or performers as far as I'm aware. Sorry for that little tongue twist in the end folks, I do apologize for that. So in some cases though, yeah, I think this is one of those microgames we do need to reach for about 10 points, so it shouldn't take too long, so... Anyway, so because the reason why I'm after the Samus Aran amiibo based off from Metroid Dread is probably because of that one thing. That is the fact that I can now able to actually get another energy tank from that particular amiibo. Because I know there's technically another amiibo somewhere based off from Metroid Dread. That might actually give me some spare missile expansions, like 2 missile expansions, but hopefully whenever I do find one, then I can assure you that we'll able to actually do. Definitely gonna do Metroid Dread at some point in the future, after we're done with the forms of not only Super Metroid, as what Sonic is doing right now, but also with Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission in the future, so... but we shall see until while that time comes, so... And on top of all that stuff though... sorry, I got something stuck in my throat there, I do apologize for that, so... Anyway, so another selections of items I've somehow managed to got with me, and that's what appears to be 2 Disney films that I've got physically on DVD. Well, despite the fact that they might be seems kind of worthless to get the physical stuff anymore, just because of, you know, Disney Plus subscription is now in existence. So, anyway, so let's get back onto the drawing board of this particular conversation, and that is the fact that, well, I've got Fantasia, in this case though, Disney Classic number 3, so in some cases though, the reason why I've got the film physically, just because of that one particular world based off from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, does exist, so in some cases though, that's the reason why I managed to get it. And on top of that, Encanto, which I did manage to able to revisit it watching that film, And oh no, I still managed to enjoy it still. So as a result of that kind of stuff though, that's the reason why I got it. So anyway, so that does it for Mona's selections of microgames. Now let's move on to Cat and Nana. In some cases, we only got one microgame left for that category. This one appears to be in the loop. So in some cases though, we need to draw a specific circle in order to be able to surround those specific buttons, as you can see on screen on this little preview board. So in some cases though, yeah, that's essentially all we have to do for this. So simply just do that and then call it a day. So nice. Oh yeah, and something's worth mentioning is the fact that happy 5th year anniversary of the release of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Nintendo Switch. So in some cases though, yeah, I can't believe that game has been out for 5 years ago now. So it seems pretty cool though, I'm not gonna lie. Well, at least I might try to give the series another chance, until God knows if this Switch lifespan is going to able to eventually end. Until specifically, God knows if Nintendo will make another new console or something like that, but we shall see until when that time comes. Oh, and by the way, in level 3 right here, the button starts to move, so in some cases though, in level 1, they just stand completely still, and it's pretty easy to manage. And then in level 2, they now added in 3 buttons, so in some cases though, yeah, we need to circle around 3 buttons all in one particular thing itself. And then obviously level 3 does manage to able to bring back just only 2 buttons, but they now start to move around. So that'll be the only differences between, you know, other difficulties as far as I'm aware. So yeah, not much else to add around here. So anywho, I suppose another thing I should probably explain about this as well, I guess, is that speaking of Disney though, recently there's a new film that just recently came up during about a couple of days ago now, which appears to be Strange World. And as far as I'm aware, much like Lightyear for the sake of the films of this year, unfortunately though, that film does have its box office bombed right now, especially noticeable because, well, I just don't get it about the fact that why this film gets another box office bombed, or anything else to be more specific. But either way though, it's just about the fact of the matter is though, while I haven't exactly watched the film yet, in fact I might actually just say this right now, I think I should probably skip Strange World, believe it or not, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that it's not my cup of tea or anything, so. Oh, and by the way, you can also draw some triangles on this microgame right here, so God knows if you decide able to do multiple shapes if you managed able to surround these buttons, and I somehow failed that, but oh well. No big deal, just for fun anyway, I suppose. So I think we actually got enough points for, you know, just obtaining the actual flower. So, I was expecting to do another heart, but I didn't get the chance. Oh well, but at the very least, like I said before, we reached the amount of score we've got. So in some cases though, we did that pretty excellently so far. So now let's move on to the majority of the microgames for Mike. So in some cases though, as I mentioned this before, 6 of those missing microgames we are currently missing on throughout the majority of this Let's Play. So in some cases though, actually no matter what though, I'm actually going to be going to the reverse order this time because, well, I just feel like for a change variety, I suppose. So first off we have is on the fly. So basically we need able to blow the paper aeroplane onto rings and stuff like that. So let's get to it. And that's all we have to do around here. So pretty simple and standard stuff. And there's that cat just shows up right in front of it. At the very least, it did win through. Nice. Nicely done for that particular blowing skills. However, when it gets to level 6 though, yeah, I apologize for that, because that microgame exists anyway. But yeah, there's not much else you can say about this at this point. Oh, I screwed it up. But I did somehow succeed on this point, so... Alright, not doing too bad here. Except I made that mistake right there, so whoops. So yeah, we succeed, so... Ah, drat. Oh, whatever. We reached a certain amount of points, so... Let's not be so hasty about this, so... Yeah, not much else to tell for this point. So yeah, that was it for On the Fly, so... Pretty easy for the most part. So now let's move on to over easy. So in some cases though, we need to blow certain objects and that's it. Like this, I would say a sticker, or a tap, or anything else like that, so... Although we did somehow flip over the card. And we have to blow a coin. Okay. That's quite intriguing for that part. Nice. And just for fun though, boo. So that's what happens if you do mess up with that microgame right there, so... Seems like I've gone for this pretty quickly. So yeah, there's not much commentary on this segment right here, so... Because some stuff has to happen, so... And let's do it again. Boo! Although I did somehow succeed that. I wonder if we could be able to do the coin though. Ah, whatever. We reached a certain amount of points anyway, so... Only 10 points for getting a red flower on that particular microgame, so we'll definitely take it. So, anyway, so next up we have is Silent but Deadly. Or should I say, Silent but Deadlier. I'm just only joking, so... So in this one we need to time our shots correctly to shoot out the cans, so... Or, and there are rare occasions for statues included, so... Oh, shoot. Oh, and there are also some eggs, too. Which I honestly forgot about those. But hey, at least we did somehow shoot one of them. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to be able to shoot these things. But we'll let those groups of frogs to go through. Nice. I believe we need to reach for about 20 points. Got it. Whew. Oh, come on. I keep missing those shots. There we go. Nicely done right here. Okay. Looking good so far anyway. Perfect. Oh, really? I always keep missing shots. Ah, whatever. Oh no, wait, I think I was totally wrong because I'm pretty sure it's like roughly 15 points. So, yeah, I think I've sort of miscalculated on that part. So, yeah, forgive me about that part. So, anyways, now let's move on to lung capacity. So, basically, you simply have to blow into the trumpet, and good news is only 10 points. So, and to be fair, it's actually not too shabby around here. At least what I thought so. However, if you stop at 1 point, then you will fail the microgame, so... Which I think I haven't tested this out yet, so... But we'll get there at some point.
Good luck.
Or, for some cases though, I somehow failed, so... Whoops. But it did succeed for that point right there, so that's gotta be something, right? And I think we'll probably get to 10 points in time. So much to the point where I feel like this microgame is easy. Or potentially if I don't do anything, that also counts as a fail. Nice. Nicely done for the sake of time. Oh yeah. Whatever. Boo! And there goes the rest of the groups of Franks right there. However, if you're ever trying to play this microgame, then, well, I don't know about you, but for what I've tested out on the 3DS though, despite the 3DS microphone is actually in an awkward place. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next micro game. This one appears to be Cool It. So basically we need to cool the thing down, and that's all you have to do. 10 points specifically, and it should be too easy for the most part. So much so to the point that it seems pretty simple. Just trying to able to make everything else cooler and cold, despite in the weather conditions is pretty cold right now. And, well, perfect for winter or Christmassy, huh? But the thing is though, it's just about the fact that, well, I'm just still very excited, that's all. But yeah, not much else to say here. Boo! I think I'm gonna do that for the majority of certain microgames. But just to make things a little bit more faster and stuff like that. So at least we'll make everything else a lot more wintry. Let's don't do anything at all. Because we reached her for about 10 points. Boo!
Sorry.
Because no matter what though, we only got one more micro game left to show off before we essentially done with the rest of the micro games of how this game offers us to. So in some cases though, speaking of winter season, we got the final micro game to show off, and this what appears to be, excuse me, that's what appears to be Winter Fresh. So in some cases though, once again, aim for 10 points, and basically we need to make the winter itself a lot colder. So in some cases we can do just that. So yeah, not much else to say about these micro games as far as I'm aware, so... But exponentially, some of them will be brought back until WarioWare Gold comes into play on the 3DS. So yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but my stomach is actually rumbling right now, so... You know what, whatever, we'll just go leave it to that. Boo! But we're almost there to a 10-point mark. And maybe a couple of points left. Although if you don't do anything at all, then you will simply mess it up, so... But at the very least, we reached 10 points now, so yeah. And for the final time right here, boom! So yeah, that's pretty much as far as I can think about it. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of the rest of the microgames in WarioWare Touched. So pretty interesting selections as far as we finally managed to find some of these things. So yeah, pretty swell I have to say. So in some cases though, yeah, as you can tell that every single character does have a silver crown, which again, we'll point out whenever we get to the actual thing itself later. So anyway, so with that being said though, we'll go ahead and end things off at this point right here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of WarioWare Touched, and that is the fact that we'll get on with the next thing we want to show off, is these remakes towers of any sorts. So yeah, I'll see you guys on next Tuesday. Later, fellas.